Hello and welcome to the Year of Shame Challenge Year 2 podcast. I am your host as ever, Adam Ducker, and on this lovely summery first day of June, I am joined by Justin and Colm. Hi guys.
Good evening.
How's it going?
Good evening. It is evening. Early evening for me, but what a beautiful weekend it's been. I feel like summer's here. I'm in a good mood.
I like the way how you're in a completely different country. Well, we're all in different countries, and you're saying what a good weekend it's been because we had sun here today, but yesterday it was wet.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm just trying to be positive and embrace summer for the folly that it is.
Well, World Cup will be on in 2 weeks, and then we can laugh at everyone complaining about how hot it is in there.
Yeah, I can't wait. Anyway. Without further ado, we are going to get this show rolling and talk about what we have been playing. Justin, what have you been playing?
Okay, I have been playing, due to popular voting on the Twitter, Mafia 2, which I completed.
Me too.
You didn't play it because I played it, though, did you? You didn't get voted on it. You just went, no. Let's do that too. And I think Colm was a bit surprised that we've managed to burn through it in about 3 days.
Yeah, yeah.
Very, very surprised.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I've talked about it on Last Save Loaded now, but the main difference, I guess you'd say, between this and, for example, a Grand Theft Auto game is the fact that it doesn't really at any point make you feel like you want to go and dick around in the world.
Yeah, there's basically nothing to do in the world.
Well, there is stuff to do. I mean, you can go and hold up shops and things like that, and go stealing cars. Yeah, get your shoe shined, but and go looking for naughty magazines. But
yeah.
At no point do you ever feel like there's any point in doing it. The story is so tightly woven that you just finish one thing and it kind of then just pretty much the next bit starts straight away. So you can't... there's even some sections of it where if you try and deviate from what happens, it kind of goes, I can't leave this area while like my mate's in trouble or something like that.
Yeah.
But I enjoyed it and really, really liked the way that the game effectively completely changes. Because there's three main settings. There's, four, I guess.
Yeah.
You start off in the war, then you've got the Empire City or whatever they call it, the fake make-believe city in the post-war era, or I guess it's during the war. You then have the prison, and then you have when you get out of prison.
Yeah.
So apologies if that's a spoiler for anyone that's not played it, because I was a bit surprised when I went into prison. I was thinking...
Yeah, and it's for something seemingly like innocuous. It's not for something horrific that you do. It's like a simple job that kind of goes wrong. Almost.
Yeah, but you did break the law.
Yeah, but you know what I mean? Like, to think of all the heinous crimes you commit in this game and it's that ends up sending you to prison is kind of strange. Like, that's the one thing that catches up with you ultimately, with the law at least.
There was one event toward the latter part of the game. I guess you'd say if there's, 14 chapters, it's probably about chapter 10, where the pace really starts snowballing toward the end.
Yeah.
And at that point, you start finding things out about different characters, and you might find it that you saw it coming, or you might think, well, I didn't see that coming. But there's one moment where you sneak around a house. And
yes, okay.
And there's different ways for the scene to play out. and there's a trophy or a achievement for getting out of the house completely without getting spotted.
Yeah.
But I think I did that on the second try, but the first time I hid and ultimately got caught, and I wasn't prepared to let the scene play out. So when that does affect the end game, I found myself wondering what would have happened if I'd have not escaped. You know, if I'd have gone with the point of getting caught. But it's odd because it clearly sets up for either a sequel or apparently there is DLC that does flesh out the end scene where where people get into cars and drive off to different places.
Yeah.
So apparently there is a bit of, well, I won't say backstory, but a little of background on that. But yeah, I really enjoyed it.
Me too.
Colm, have you played it?
Yeah, it's a great game. Yeah, I played it twice, actually.
Twice?
Well, I played it on hard setting as well as
I played it straight through on hard setting because...
see, I'm not brave.
Well, I'd heard it wasn't actually that hard. And to be fair, there was probably only 3 fights that I struggled with. One is the last fight, you know, because you'd expect that to be tricky. One is outside on your way up to the last fight.
That's right, yeah.
And one was getting out of the Chinese area.
Oh, yeah, that bit was a bit tricky, yeah.
You know, escaping there. But, yeah, I did, generally speaking, not really have too much of an issue.
Yeah. See, I played it on normal, and it was easy. Like, it was stupidly easy. So I kind of wish I knew it wasn't that hard. I would have played it on hard.
I like the way you can, you get more sense of interaction with just passers-by than you do in other games as well. Like, when you're sort of brought home from the war and you can just wander about and if you stop near someone, he starts having a chat with them. Whereas on like a Grand Theft Auto, you just hear the character having like their own conversations in the world. But this one, there's actually like proper two-way conversations going, and I found the first couple of stages I was just wandering about on my way to my apartment, and I picked up some like 3 trophies just by doing things that I thought, I wonder if I can get involved with what's going on over there. And I walked over. Yeah. It's like the woman with the car, and
that's right, yeah.
And the first time I thought, oh well. She's got a guy working with it, but I'll wander about, and it didn't give me any prompt to interact with the car, but I just stood and like listened to them bicker, and then of course he has a strop and runs off, and then you just walk along, and go, yeah, okay, I'll fix your car for you.
Yeah, and there's another one where you have to deliver. What is it? I can't remember what you have to deliver to the garages in a certain time.
Oh, that's the fuel stamps.
Yeah, you have to get them at a certain time within this time limit. I think you get an achievement for that as well.
I managed to get that just done. Like I got to the last one just as the clock was running out. But the actual mission for getting the fuel stamps, that was a challenging one because I'd scattered around the place. I'd worked out different ways to get out of the building. And I could see that the safe had an alarm on it, but I couldn't work out for the life of me where to go to shut the safe off. And that was where trying to shoot your way out of the building was just not going to work on hard.
You see, on normal it worked. I managed to get out with no problems.
Well, eventually I worked out how to switch the alarm off, and then I got an achievement for getting out without being detected.
Nice.
But there was no other way I was going to do it.
No, you weren't going to do it.
No. So yeah, the next game I have been playing. I haven't actually finished anything other than Mafia 2. I'm playing through Half-Life 2 at the moment for the first time.
Okay, and how are you finding that? I know we've talked about it a little bit.
Just half an hour ago, finished the Sand Traps level. Vector Prospect, whatever it is. I don't know. Basically, I've now got to section 10, mission 10, whatever you want to call them. And I think there's 14, so I'm in the last third of the game now, and I've just seen Alex again. Mm-hmm. And you, when you get your antlion army, things are fun.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
So when you get your antlion army, then you kind of start taking a bit of a back seat, really. No more running around corners and getting yourself shot. You just send in the troops and watch them get endlessly slaughtered.
Yeah, it is a bit like that.
And then you realise there's a turret around the corner.
Yeah. Yeah, you saying going around corners and getting shot. There was still of that era where the AI was seemingly like they could just lock onto you the second you appeared out of nowhere, and then they were just straight on you. Whereas I guess things have got a bit cleverer since then.
Well, so far the biggest problem I've had is the double gunship attack.
Oh yeah.
Because I entered the area with only like 14 health. and of course it saved it, didn't it? Yeah. So as you say, I could either go back about 3 levels to my secondary save, or I could just keep trying to go and hoping that my troops were going to pick out all the snipers that were out of my range, and then I'd eventually work around to the front of the building, and a helicopter would come in, and you think, okay, well, I'll shoot this. And of course, you can only carry 3 rockets. You find one on the floor, and you shoot that as well, and it starts shooting the rockets out of the sky, and you might just about get to the point where you then find another rocket, and then people start killing you. And then a second gunship comes in, and now you can't work out which one you're actually trying to kill first, and just wasting ammo all over the place. And it must have taken me about 30 attempts at running around cover to cover until I eventually realised where the rocket box was, to just keep resupplying and shooting them down. Because I just kept I would manage. Sometimes I'd manage to take one of the gunships out, but then I'd have no rockets left, and I couldn't shoot the other one. And until you take it down, then you can't go anywhere else.
You're stuck. Yeah.
So I'm not enjoying it as much as I would expect to, going off what everyone says. Yeah. But as Colm is every month accusing me of playing games I hate, I wouldn't say that I'm hating it. I'm taking it steady and just getting increasingly frustrated when there's bits that there's no real signposting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I just think it's one of them things that games didn't have that as much back then. It's older than you realise. Yeah. I realised that playing through the first Fear, loads of areas just look completely the same. There's no signposting. You've got no idea where you're going. It's just one of them things that we forgot.
The one thing I will say is the game world is stunning. When you think this came out in, 2007?
Yeah.
And
it was on... No, it came out before then, didn't it? Yeah, Half-Life 2 was out before then, wasn't it?
Well, that's what I'm playing.
Yeah, but...
sorry, 2. Yeah, no, because I'm playing on Orange Box, so it's got episode 1 and episode 2 on it, so maybe that's what I'm thinking of.
2004.
Yeah. Because the original Half-Life came out on the original Xbox, or didn't the second Half-Life come out? No. What am I thinking?
Half-Life 2 might have come out on the original Xbox.
Yeah, it did, yeah. And I remember seeing a demo of that years ago, and it just blew me away, like the gravity gun and everything. Like, it was just it was something that nobody else was doing at the time. You know, it was an amazing game for its day.
Yeah,
like.
well, I mean, I can see other games that have clearly taken inspiration from it and worked with it and improved it. And like Just Cause 2, you have a kind of gravity gun on that where you can attach a cable between two things and use the gravity of one against the other. And that obviously worked with the same sort of principles. And things like that it's very good. The fact that the only sniper type weapon you have is the crossbow was a bit weird. But the worst thing I have found about it so far is, and I don't think I'm going to have to suffer this anymore, when you're driving a vehicle and you try, when you're pretty much stopped and you try and turn and you hold right and the car steers left because it thinks it's going backwards.
Yeah.
And so that's the only sort of major gripe I've got, is that I was often getting frustrated when my vehicle would just turn completely the wrong way. So catching up with the old school and playing the game that that I need to play. I mean, what I would say is it's a long game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But considering the age, stunning. Stunning to look at. Really finely detailed in areas. I can only imagine what the PC version would have looked like, because Master Race and all that. But there's one thing that just I'd never, if I never see the word ever again, it'll be too soon. Loading.
So true.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they made the world that detailed that they could only buffer half a square kilometre in the game.
Time, yeah.
But yeah, there we go. So hopefully by the end of next week I should have finished that.
Are you going for episodes 1 and 2 as well?
They will be played not immediately afterwards, but they will be played so that I can then shelve the orange box. But I understand they're a lot shorter because they're episodes rather than full games. But I guess if I'd have played this several years ago, I probably could have seen what made everyone go so gaga about it. But with a lot of games that people think are the best games ever, as technology and gameplay mechanics move on, it's very hard to go back to something you loved back then. Everyone, well, I'll say everyone, there's a lot of people that cry out for saying, can we have, we want an HD remake of Final Fantasy VII. And I played through 7, that was my first Final Fantasy experience, but I'm one of the few that preferred 8 when I played it. Because it wasn't isometric and it wasn't cartoony style graphics, and that is why I didn't play 9, because 9 went back to cartoony graphics.
To it,
yeah.
Whereas 8, I thought, really kind of pushed the power of the PS1. And
right, yeah.
But
yeah, from what I remember of it, I think I preferred the look of 8 and stuff, but then we played more of 9 as kids, I think.
Yeah, if the people that have played 9 do tend to say that that's their favourite one, but it just wasn't the way for me. But I think that the people that love 7 so much, if they go back to it now after playing 10 or a more modern version, they would see that those rose-tinted glasses don't actually reveal the full picture.
Yeah.
So, there's... I think what it comes down to is when you're a kid, it doesn't matter what game you've got. If you've only got one game, you're going to play that sucker to death, and you're going to love it.
Yeah. And you have no choice.
Yeah. And of course, it will leave a lasting memory. It's like, Mario 1. There's not really a lot in it It's just running along and it's jumping over things left to right, and that's pretty much it. But that's what everyone remembers, and if it wasn't for that and the success of it, then we would never have seen games like Mario Galaxy.
That's true, yeah.
So that's my main game. My part-time game that I'm playing, I'm chiseling away at Everybody's Golf, which, Colm, I've seen you're starting to get on.
Yeah.
Are you finding it like I am? It's nice and cute to look at, but punishingly difficult.
Yeah. It invites you into this, oh, come on and play this little cute game, but yeah, right.
So you're saying that, is it a very more sim approach to golf than it looks like it would be? I always imagined it was arcadey.
It's arcadey in the sense of, like, you've got wild animals roaming around the stages, like a family of bears and, a bunch of rabbits running around on the green and stuff. But, it's one of these ones that if it wants to think that you haven't shot the perfect shot, suddenly everyone else goes 6 under par and you go, like, 6 over.
It punishes you if you don't hit the right shot, like, at the right time. Yeah. It's quite,
The other thing that you get is you get a caddy. And the caddies, obviously, you step up to take your next shot and it's already selected the club for you, and it's already selected, well, it's got a little marker saying this is how hard you should hit it.
Yeah.
But if you're trying to putt the ball and you're trying to putt uphill, you'll hear, like, the crowd saying things like, it's uphill. And you'll see all the little terrain markers telling you how steep the gradient is. But the marker saying how powerful your shot should be is assuming the ground is flat.
Yeah.
And you have to remember that, because 9 times out of 10 you're going to forget. And you're going to try and hit the button on that marker. And you're going to watch your ball go at 1 metre. And in some cases it'll go 1 metre and then pick up speed and roll backwards into a sand trap that's 3 foot behind you.
Okay.
And then that sand trap is so steep that even if you use the sand wedge or something to chip the ball out, it hits the top of the bunker and goes even further back.
Yeah.
Sounds fun.
So when it wants to put you in the wrong place, it's going to make you stay there. And what I don't get is sometimes if your ball goes in the water, it just goes, okay, water hazard, take the shot again. And other times, it'll just give you a drop shot and you'll just see him stood next to the water and drop the ball on the floor. And I don't understand the finer rules of golf, but I've always just assumed it was hit with a different club and hope for the best.
Yeah, that's how they do it, yeah. It's part of luck, really.
Yeah.
Well, that sounds cool.
And then I've been playing... on Cook Serve Delicious, I've got my restaurant up to a 1-star restaurant, so I can now do extra activities, and I've bought some equipment to cook other things, but I still need to buy the recipes. But it started giving me, like, daily challenges now, so someone will throw up a challenge saying, bet me this much money, and if you can, get a chain of 20 satisfied customers, making sure that you've got some of these really complicated dishes on your menu, then I'll give you lots of money. And if you don't, then you lose. So,
Dang.
Yeah, it's not Diner Dash anymore.
No. It's got a bit harder, yeah?
Yeah, well, now you've still got the juggling the customer order, but now it's a race to see, read what you're being asked to serve and press the right button shortcuts to serve it. And remembering that mushrooms might be obviously starting with an M for mushroom, but it's not. It's starting with a U. So,
okay.
So a lot of the time you'll hit the button I will hit the button I think should be the shortcut because it'll, start with that word, but it's not. and I then obviously upset my customer because I've just put the wrong topping on their pizza. So, yeah, instincts are difficult to get out of.
Mm-hmm.
And that's pretty much me, because I'm still spending the occasional bit of time on Smart As, which I said I would consider that completed when I've unlocked everything. I'm not going to be able to play all the games because some of them are AR games, and I can't be bothered to go up and find my AR cards just to put them on the floor and whatnot. But I did enjoy it when it told me I was the smartest person in Swindon and I was in the top 2% in the country. Moments of smugness were abound when it kept telling me, "Oh yes, but it was on one specific challenge that I'd done medium, and I'd done it on the first attempt in about 18 seconds, and it went, yeah, that's fantastic, and it wasn't necessarily that I'd done it well; it was just the fact that it presented it to me in easy to see answers. So I moved on to hard and then struggled, but I think I'm pretty much going to stop playing that now, so that'll be the last I speak about that one. Adam, what have you been playing?
Cool. Well, I already talked about Mafia 2.
Yeah.
With you. Again, really enjoyed it. Surprised how good it looked, considering it's 4 years old. Other than that, not a lot else to say. And the only other game I've beaten is Child of Light.
Mm-hmm.
Which we talked about last time. I enjoyed it. It's about as long as I would want an RPG to be. By the time I got to the end, I was kind of ready for it. The battles had got as complex as I wanted them to. I'd got a tactic that worked, nailed down, and I was happy to finish it. But it looks great. I saw there's another game using that same art framework thing, a World War II game. It's out in a couple of months, so I'll keep my eyes on that to maybe pick up later in the year. Mm-hmm. Not a lot else to say on that. And then my current has been a mixed bag of stuff. So was it last month we talked about comfort games?
Yeah.
Yep.
So I kind of have been indulging in a lot of Football Manager on my career that's 10 years into the future. It's just been one of those sitting watching TV and playing it. I'm not going to bore you with the tales of my pretend football career, but it's going pretty good.
If you do say so yourself.
Yeah, I'm pretty successful. Still replaying Walking Dead Season 1 so I can get my PC version up to where I was with the PS3. I've nearly finished Episode 2 of that now. I took a vote on what game to play next. Basically didn't like the results. I went for the one game that...
Yeah, they'll do that to you, because I got stitched.
Yeah, I got stitched, yeah.
I booted up Alan Wake, which was the winner.
Before you do say this, did you not think it was a bad idea after Bully?
This is true.
He's just hoping they'd be kinder to him the second time around.
But I think people were being kind because people were like, Alan Wake's amazing. What's not to love? But these are all games that I've started and not finished, so...
You knew what you were getting into.
I did, basically. Alan Wake I stopped because I got bored of it. Borderlands 2 I only stopped because I got my Xbox One. And Dead Space 3 I kind of stopped because I just only did the very start of it. Alan Wake got 6 votes, I think. Borderlands 2 got 1. And Dead Space 3 got none, which is why I decided to play Dead Space 3. I booted up Alan Wake and remembered where I was stuck, and I was like, I'm not doing this. I'm not doing it. So that's done. So I've been playing Dead Space 3.
On which version?
This is the PC version, because it was in one of the Humble Bundles last year. So I'm playing using Origin, which I've had no issues with so far, outside of forgetting my password.
Yeah.
So I had to reset that. Don't you hate it, though, when you reset a password, and then you try to set it as something, and it tells you can't use that, there's already been a password before. So then it's like, crap. So yeah,
and if you log into eBay at the moment, no matter how many times you log in, it always puts a big message at the top going, reset your password because eBay got hacked.
Yeah. Why they didn't do that as one of them things once you've done it remembers. Because I've already reset and it's still reminding me. Anyway, so Dead Space 3 starts off a little strange. You're in a city, and Isaac's kind of lost his way a bit. And then you end up having to go on a mission and you like fight your way out of the city and you're shooting other humans and stuff. It's kind of a weird misstep to start the game off with. But I've just got to another spaceship and it's feeling like Dead Space now. So I'm enjoying it. I've always been a big fan of the Dead Space games.
Have you been out in the snow yet?
You are kind of out in the snow at the very beginning.
Because I'd heard...
But I haven't got back to
I'd
the
heard
snow.
generally that the whole point of Dead Space is it's in space, and there's a lot of the jumps are from things jumping out of air vents and whatnot. And when you're running around on planets, there's obviously a severe lack of air vents on account of there being abundant amounts of air.
That's very true. I haven't got to that. I'm guessing that's where I'm going next. We've found the planet that seems to be important for one reason or another.
I'm guessing there's a marker on it.
Yeah, something to do with a marker, yeah. I bet there is a marker there in the end. But yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm definitely going to finish it this time round. See whether it ends the series, because I guess Dead Space is kind of dead now that Visceral are working on Star Wars games.
It was kind of dead when nobody bought 3.
And it didn't sell. Yeah.
And it got slammed for being
that's true.
not as good.
Yeah, but I'm still enjoying it so far.
Have you tried the multiplayer?
No, I don't have any friends on Origin, you see. So I guess I'm assuming you can jump in with randoms. But...
Attention, listeners. Attention, listeners. Would you like to tell people what your Origin friend name is?
I have no idea.
They probably need to find a password to log into it.
I think it's Flameboy NE, like my all my other accounts.
Well, how about we say if anyone wants to try and get involved in playing Dead Space with you, or whatever game you might be playing, they can get in touch with you and you can somehow work out what your account name is.
Oh, whilst we're on Origin, I actually forgot about another story. So yeah, people can find me on Twitter and we'll work it out. So Origin gave away Battlefield 3 for free.
Yep.
This week, so I downloaded it, started playing it. I'm playing along. I'm like, sure, I've played this before.
It was free on Plus a while back.
Yeah. So I went over, looked at my PS3 discs. I was like, no, I haven't got it. Carried on playing. I was like, I have definitely played this. So yeah. So I googled Battlefield 3 PlayStation Plus. Lo and behold, it was on PlayStation Plus like last July, I think it was.
Yeah, and Origin gave away Dead Space 1 free not too long ago as well.
Yeah, I have that banked on now, although I played it on PS3 already. So I played like about 2 missions of Battlefield 3 before I realised I'd definitely already played it. And checked my trophies, and I finished it. So that was a waste of however long. So I did that. When we get round to what we picked up, I picked up Super Time Force for the Xbox. And I'm really enjoying it. It is a Contra-style shooter, but when you die, you can rewind time and start as another character and then work your way back through the level and try and prevent yourself from dying. Its other kind of hook is you only get 60 seconds to finish every level, so it's technically not possible to just finish it with one character on a single run. You kind of have to use the time gimmicky thing to so leave yourself to die whilst you kill one enemy so you can jump over that part of the level and skip it and do all this weird... It's really hard to explain.
It sounds it.
Yeah. And then you can't beat the bosses with just one character. You kind of have to keep shooting, wait till it changes form, rewind time, and then keep stacking people, all shooting the enemy at the same time so that it gets beaten quicker. One cool feature is at the end of every level, it will show you a replay of all your characters all run in at once to do the level, without all the rewinding mechanics being shown, and you can export that and upload it onto YouTube and stuff, which is kind of cool. The last thing I played was, rather than release a World Cup game on the new consoles, EA updated FIFA to have its own Ultimate Team mode and just leave the World Cup game for the PS3 and Xbox 360. So I've been playing a lot of that, and I'm confused by it. I don't understand why EA didn't decide to release the game, because I can't see anybody spending money on this. So my first thought was, it's Ultimate Team. People spend a lot of money on Ultimate Team. It's been proven when they always release these ridiculous stats about how many millions have been spent on player cards. But the thing with the FIFA World Cup Ultimate Team is you can't export your other players in. None of these players can come out. It's its own self-contained mode. At the end of every game you play, you get a random player anyway. So your team's constantly changing, and it's not like they're all rubbish players. Like, you sometimes get like world-class players. And because I just don't understand, I can't see anybody spending the equivalent of like $60 on player cards, unless it was literally a timing thing that they couldn't develop the new World Cup game in time. But it's fun. I'm going to play it all through the World Cup. There's going to be challenges each day after all the games have aired and stuff. So I'm looking forward to that. Playing that some more. It's, people want to play me on that. I'm Flameboy NE on Xbox One. Happily play some Ultimate Team with people. And that is all I have been playing. So it just leaves us to talk to Colm. What have you played, mate?
Well, it's been a long month.
Yep.
I haven't completed anything yet, surprisingly enough.
Okay.
And this may surprise you, but I'm 30 hours and I'm playing Child of Light for 30 hours.
Well, it is an RPG.
Because I have it in my head that I want to max out all the stats and all the things for each character. Well, for the characters I'm playing with. So I've tried to beat the final boss twice. Twice I failed. So I don't know. So I'm slow. I don't know, but it's the rest of the game is like quite easy, you know.
Yeah.
It's not a hard game by any means. So
no, not at all. Which is why I liked it.
And I love the style and the music and the characters and all that. It's a great game. Like, so I tend to play about an hour every day, sort of that.
Yeah.
And then, so I checked my time spent on that, and it's 30 hours. So.
Wow.
And then I put out for 3 games last month: Dragon Age, Fallout New Vegas, and can't think of the other game. But anyway, the 2 of them came back with Dragon Age and Fallout New Vegas. So I got that was a draw. So I think somebody suggested that I play both of them. So I'm not sure whether that was Justin or Welsh Beano or Benno. I'm not sure. Whether the 2 of them ganged up on me or not. So I started playing Dragon Age again on the Xbox 360.
Okay.
And the funny thing is, I should have actually started on the PC because I had the Ultimate Edition on Steam with all the downloads and all the DLC. But when I'm on the PC, I'll play a bit of Dragon Age, but mostly I've been playing on the Xbox 360, and I'm 38 hours into that now.
Yeah, Dragon Age Origins is not a short game at all.
No, not at all, no.
I googled it to see, and it's about 100 hours if you want to do all the side missions and whatever else. I'm not sure whether the 100 hours includes all the DLC or not, but if it takes everybody else 100 hours, it'll probably take me 200 hours. So I have installed Fallout New Vegas on the PS3, and I've managed to play about 15 minutes of it because I actually hate that game. I hate that game. I really hate it. No, because when you go and you start off and everything's wonderful and your character wakes up after being shot or whatever, and then you just wander into a town and they beat the crap out of you. You're dead. You just die in 2 minutes. Like, and I tried to use that radar thing on your guns. Your guns are crap, man. To start off with, you can't kill anybody. Can't even kill a rodent run across the street anyway. So I'm going to manage to do that anyway. I'll manage to get stuck into that this month. And I've also managed to start Mass Effect 3 on the Wii U.
Okay.
And that's it. That's basically me. But I have been playing another game. I'm not sure I'm allowed to talk about it yet.
No, you can talk away.
Well, I had a lovely friend. He's a very nice friend of mine. His name is I can't think his name on your 6, and he was very generously offered me Mario Kart 8 for a very small fee at the time.
Shall I tell the story and you can?
Well, anyway, I won't go into that. But I'm playing Mario Kart 8 as well, and it's bloody brilliant. That's it. But I'm also enjoying Dragon Age, so it's been a good month, even though I haven't finished anything. So that's me.
Balance your time.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, why don't we go straight into what have you picked up, and we may as well hear the tale of Mario Kart 8 first.
Okay, so what have I picked up? I suggested last month that I was purchasing a copy of Mario Kart 8 limited edition bundle that came with the spiny shell because it's not available in North America. Now, it turns out it actually is available in North America through one shop in New York that Nintendo have a licensed, but generally speaking, this thing can't be bought over there. And I negotiated with Elaine from Some Other Castle podcast about 2 months ago when it got announced, and I said, I'm sure you'd really love it, and if someone that you knew who was able to buy such a thing could buy it and then send it over for you. And she said, yeah, I would happily pay for that. And so the problem is that it's going to be region locked, isn't it? So it'll be a region 2 game, a PAL game. There's no point sending you the game because you can't run it. So I said to her, what I'd suggest is I'll buy the bundle. I will ship the bundle, which it's currently on my living room floor, boxed and sealed, ready to go. I said, but I'll take the game out because she was going to buy the game herself. I'll take the game out and I will sell it myself, and then basically you pay me what I don't make up. And she said, yep, that works, that's fine. And then it became very close to a couple of people's birthdays. So in 2 weeks, or just under 2 weeks as we record this, it'll be mine and your birthday, Adam, as you know.
Yep.
And Colm's birthday is a couple of weeks away. So, a couple of months away. But I said to Colm, would you be interested in taking the Mario Kart off me? I know that it's a game that you want to get, and if you wanted to buy me a birthday present, I would send this across for you. And he said, yeah, that sounds fantastic. And we agreed a sum. And then it came to the 30th when they were releasing it. And I got an email from Nintendo saying, well, your package has gone for dispatch. And I'm at work, so I didn't really think much of this. Moments later, I got an email from a courier company. I got a text on my phone from Yodel, who I'd never heard of. And it just said, there's been a problem with your parcel and we're not going to be able to deliver it. It's been delayed by 24 hours. And I thought, who the hell is Yodel? Whatever. And I just deleted the text. And then at sort of 12:30, I get an email from Nintendo saying, we're aware that you've probably been contacted by Yodel, our courier, and there's a problem with the delivery. We are working closely with them, and we are doing everything we can to get it delivered today on launch day. And thank you for your patience, etc. And I'm still at work, so I'm thinking, yeah, whatever. It's not as if I'm playing the game, is it?
I've got bigger problems.
Exactly. I'm going to the cinema when I finish work, and so I finish work at sort of 5 o'clock, and I wander down to the cinema to catch a 6 o'clock showing, and my phone goes off again, and it's got an email from Nintendo, and it says, unfortunately, we were unable to get your parcel delivered today. We will guarantee it will be delivered by 12 o'clock tomorrow. But in the meantime, here is a code for you to download the game tonight and enjoy it on launch night. So I thought, okay. So I sent Colm a message saying, look, I'm going into the cinema, but I need to talk to you when I get home. And he obviously got a little bit worried because I didn't say any more than that. And I was like, no, don't worry. So I got home and I called him up, and I sort of said, look, there's two ways we can do this. It's a code. I don't know if it's a code for the full, like, effectively an eShop code, and it is part of the offer to get yourself a free game.
Yeah.
And I said, but I'm happy to just wait and send you the game tomorrow when it arrives, because it said the game will be with you by 12 noon on Saturday. I said, or because I wasn't expecting to get this code from Nintendo, I can email you the code. You can have the code because obviously I didn't pay for it. I can still sell the physical game. I said, but then you're going to have the risk of it might not give you the free game. So, sure enough, Colm said, whatever, make the decision yourself. You're the one that's selling it or whatever. So I decided to email him the code, and what you put in the code, and it offered you the second game as well, didn't it, Colm?
It did. I downloaded the code, and once the game is when I downloaded the code and it redeemed the code, it says you were entitled to get a free game.
So there we go. So he's now obviously got himself 2 games out of it, and I still have the physical disc.
Okay.
And knowing that it was the Race for Life this weekend for cancer, that all the ladies do, I decided to investigate what I would get for the sealed copy with the code on eBay, and it was coming in around sort of £30 to £40. If I took it into a second-hand shop in town to try and sell it, I would only get about £25, and I thought, there's no way I'm doing that. So I went ahead and Saturday, 2 o'clock, I put a 24-hour auction on eBay with 10% going to cancer research. And so I published it as a charity auction and tweeted it out, and many of the listeners retweeted that, so thank you very much. And it ended up, one of the people that follows me on Twitter, Techno's Logic, he sent me a message saying, well, when's your auction end? Because I don't get paid till Friday. And said, it's due to finish at 2 o'clock on Sunday when I get home from the Race for Life. And because one of my best friends is, she's got an operation tomorrow for a mastectomy with breast cancer. So it's quite an affecting time for me, I guess, a sensitive time from that point of view. Mm-hmm. And he said, look, I'd be really happy to offer you to buy the game from you, but I don't get paid till Friday. I said, look, if you win the auction, I will quite happily sit on the game and, not chase you for it or anything like that. I'll just hold it here for a week. And, sure enough, he put in a sizable donation winning bid. And so I sent him a message saying, okay, you've got it. We've agreed I'll keep it here. And, thank you very much, Jack, for getting involved and helping me raise some money in the process. So I hope people listening to that tale now don't judge me for trying to make money off it or anything like that. But as I say, I raised it as a charity auction, 10% of the final bid to go to cancer research. And obviously, Wii U game,
Nice.
I didn't get anything out of it. So Colm sent me some PSN credit to repay for the games. And I have picked up the Ultimate Edition of Injustice due to the PSN 75 Years of Batman sale, where they're selling all the Batman games for stupid amounts. And the Ultimate Edition on PS3 is $7.99 right now. Which, when you think in the shops, it's £26 on offer.
Yeah.
That's not a bad deal. Other than that, I was also given The Binding of Isaac and the DLC on Steam by my best friend, who I was talking to him as we were playing an online game and telling him about Steam sales, and I'd looked and I'd spotted that Binding of Isaac was 39p.
So cheap.
And knowing how well people like that game, I told him about it, and he said, "So how does this gift thing work then?" I said, "I'll tell you what, look, if I just add it to my wish list, and then I got an email saying you have been bought Binding of Isaac, and then I got another one a few seconds later saying you've bought the DLC, and I can't remember what it's called.
Wrath of the Lamb.
That's it, Wrath of the Lamb. I was going to say something about that. and when I went back, I said, "You didn't have to buy me the DLC." He said, "That was about 20p as well." So realistically, I spent less than £1 on you. I don't really see what you're moaning about. So next month's PSN games will be out on Wednesday, so I have not yet picked those up, and we had recorded after I got last month. So the only games I've actually benefited from is Batman, Injustice, Gods Among Us, Ultimate Edition, and Binding of Isaac.
Cool.
So Colm, now that I've obviously explained how you got your Mario Kart 8, what else have you picked up? Or do we want to read an email?
Would you like? I'd like you to read the email because I'm too ashamed.
Okay, well, I've just been talking for a couple of minutes. So Adam, do you want to read this? Because I know you've got the email prepped and ready to read.
Okay. This email is entitled "Coming Clean, I've Fallen Off the Wagon Again." Well, lads, it's time to come clean again. I failed you miserably. The worst thing is, these are games I've had before. They were only a fiver in Tesco. I found myself going back over the course of a few days. This all happened on my lunch breaks. Better clear my throat. It's quite the list. PS3. Enslaved. Love this game. Have the Pigsy DLC, but never played the DLC. Alpha Protocol. Really not sure what possessed me to buy this. Dungeon Siege 3. Have DLC. Never played DLC. Fallout New Vegas. Complete Edition. Wii U. Mass Effect 3. Which I have on the...
But didn't I was going to say, which you already had on the PS3 because they gave that away with Plus.
I was going to say that, which I have on the PS3.
Yeah. Okay, so I was there for the Wii U. Xbox 360. Final Fantasy 13. Dungeon Siege 3. After buying it, discovered there's no game on it. Serves me right. Brought it back. Got a refund. Wait, you bought Dungeon Siege 3 on both? You have it listed for PS3 and Xbox 360.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I'll get around to telling you about that now later.
Okay. Total spend €35. Now I know what an addict feels like after falling off the wagon. But you have to admit, these are some pretty sweet deals. Oh dear, I'm off again, trying to justify my failures. Well, for my sins, I'm going to give away Final Fantasy 13 and another Wii U game from my pile. I haven't decided which one yet. On top of all this, I still have to play through Dragon Age, 25 hours in, and Fallout New Vegas, which I believe are both over 100 hours each. Regards, Colm, the one who let you down. Lol. So, Colm,
Yes.
How do you feel about that little confession?
I feel dirty. I just feel ashamed, and if I could turn back time now, I would. But what can I say? I'm weak. Oh, I just want to change my mind on the Wii U game. It probably won't be a Wii U game because I don't have many Wii U games, but I'll give away another game in my
Okay.
disgusting
What
pile.
about the Dungeon Siege 3? Why did you pick up 2 copies of it?
Okay. Well, Dungeon Siege 3. Right. That was one of the games when I brought it home. I said, "No, I have it on Steam.
So
I have it on PS3, and I have it on the Xbox 360." But what happened was, all this was like these were in my bag coming home from work every day. So I said, "No, I'll give that game away now because I feel ashamed." So what I had planned to do was give Dungeon Siege 3 away and Final Fantasy 13 for this month's competition, but then I said, sure, I'll hold on to Dungeon Siege 3 and change my mind.
Fair enough.
Then I discovered but then I discovered I had it on the Xbox hard drive.
Anyway, oh my God.
Yes.
Oh, this gets worse.
Yes.
You just keep talking.
So I know, yeah. So I basically delivered it to my friend. Well,
okay.
Well, he is my Twitter friend.
Okay.
Welsh Benno, because I said to him, "This looks like the type of game you'd like, because I like it." And I said, "We could probably play co-op someday when I'm about 75 if we get around to it." So just as I was about to post it off, the morning I was about to post it off, it was sealed. The copy was sealed, but the front was like torn, opened. The front seal was opened. So I just said to myself, better shake this box, see if there's anything in it. Got to shake the box and I couldn't hear the disc. So I took it out anyway. There was no disc in it. Now, the worst thing was, they had no other copies left, so I had promised Howard that I would send this to him, And I said, "Oh dear, what am I going to do with this? I'll bring it back." And here I am. It's only a $5. I said to myself, "It's only a $5, Carl." And I said, the other half of me saying, "Yeah, but it's principle."
Absolutely.
So I went back to Tesco. I had a receipt, which is unusual for me to keep a receipt.
Mm-hmm.
So I sent it back, and they apologised and they gave me my $5 back. And so with the $5, I went up to GameStop and they had a second-hand copy for a $5. So I bought that and posted that off to Howard.
So Howard's landed up with it. That's good.
Yeah. So that's the whole story.
The most do you own Mass Effect on? Have you played the other 2 on a system and then own 3 as well already, or?
Well,
that's
okay.
one that's a bit confusing to me because I don't get why you'd buy the last bit of a trilogy that you've already played on a system that doesn't have the other 2 parts of the trilogy.
Yes, but because my Wii U is downstairs in the sitting room now, and I can play off screen, and when my wife is watching soaps or something like that, I tend to play the Wii U downstairs. So that's my reason, whether it's insane or not. And it's special edition, so I was assuming that I had all the DLC, but I'm not sure whether it does or not. I haven't really checked it out yet. So yeah, I played the first one. This is how my mind works. I played the first Mass Effect on Xbox 360 because you could only get it on Xbox at the time. So I finished that one. Then when it came out on the PS3, I played Mass Effect 2 on the PS3.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm playing Mass Effect 3 on the Wii U. So I'm covering all consoles.
You do know Mass Effect 3 is not exactly a short game as well, don't you?
Yes, I know. That's why I'm really digging a big hole for myself for the next 2 months. Plus, I still have that Monster Hunter 3, but I haven't touched yet. So,
As we've said.
I'm reckon by the end of this year, Shame, I'll probably have more games just than I had before I started.
Yeah, I think you're definitely going on
Which was
record.
not the object.
I
So,
don't know what
yeah,
to say.
I have to hang my head in shame and no, I know, I feel like I'm the bad black sheep of the family here because I've let you all down again.
Yeah. It's okay,
And I do
Colm.
apologise,
We forgive
lads.
you. We forgive you.
After this one, I'm sure I won't be asked to do any more year shames. So, thank you for listening.
You're welcome.
Well, I'm just going to point out that I umdenard a few months ago as to whether I should get XCOM Enemy Within, and I picked that up with the remaining credit that I got off Colm there.
Oh, that's
okay.
nice. Oh, that's nice. Well, you enjoyed that game, didn't you?
I haven't
you
played.
enjoyed the other?
I haven't downloaded Enemy Within yet, but
Yeah.
I did enjoy Enemy Unknown. And from what I understand, Enemy Within pretty much just it can be played as a separate game or it can be played as DLC. But you pretty much migrate your team across from the ones that end the last mission. So my team that consists of my sniper called Colm, it will be mapped across.
Thank you. Okay.
Adam, you've also had some birthday presents, haven't you?
I did. So I said before I got Super Time Force, firstly. That was what was left over on that $50 voucher from when the Misters went to Miami. So I have $5 left of that voucher, which I doubt will buy me anything. Seems digital games seem to be a bit more pricey these days. And then I also got a birthday present turned up rather quickly for here in the mail from yourself, Justin, and it was a copy of Rayman Legends, which I'm looking forward to playing. It's still sealed up because it's a birthday present.
Xbox One, is it?
Yeah.
Xbox One, yeah. So nice looking HD, more HD version of it, I'm hoping.
That was nice of you, Justin.
It's very nice of him.
It was one of only two not too expensive games available. And it was easier for me to get him to put it on his wish list and order off that than it was to buy something and ship it from here, because I don't know if how the Xbox works with region-specific content.
I think with discs it's fine. I'm not sure if you run into those problems with like DLC and stuff like you do with the PS3. But it's all good. I have a Canadian copy. I know it's Canadian because the writing's in French and English. So yeah, I've not opened it yet. Could do with finishing Origins on the PS3 before I play it. But I'm quite far into Origins from what I remember. We stopped playing it because I was playing it with the girlfriend and it got too hard for her. So yeah, thank you very much, Justin. And we need to sort out me buying you a birthday present.
Well, we got 2 weeks to sort that out. I've still got a couple of pennies to wait until what comes up in the June sale on the PSN store.
Can I just say that how nice Justin is? He didn't actually want any money for the code for Mario Kart.
Well, the way I looked at it is I didn't pay for it. I wasn't expecting Nintendo to email it, and my experience from monitoring Twitter on Friday night was not everyone got an email saying have a code.
I still think it's weird. I thought it would have been a time-locked game download or something.
No, because
it's weird.
Well, if it is a time locked, I don't know. But I mean, I've got my free Pikmin or whatever. Pikmin. Sorry, I keep calling it Pikmin. I don't know. I've downloaded my Pikmin 3, so I'm a happy man.
Just to let you know as well, Colm, Mass Effect on the Wii U, it comes with the From Ashes DLC and it has the extended cut on it. But other than that, it doesn't have the Leviathan and the Omega DLC.
All right. Okay. Thank you.
So
Or the other one, the one where they had the party, whatever that one was
Citadel.
called. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, well, you got some stuff. The From Ashes stuff's cool.
Okay.
As we've talked about before at some point. I don't remember when. Anyway. So, gifts for everyone. Some people bought them for themselves.
It's because I love myself so much.
With that in mind, we are going to go to stuff we have been missing. Justin, what have you been pining for this month?
Oh, man. I'm starting to feel left behind. I'm starting to feel like I'm old gen, while all the new shiny people are leaving me behind.
Yeah.
Everyone's got their new toys, and I mean, there might not be many games out on them, and that's one of the reasons why I've been reassured that I don't want to go off and, break my year of shame at the moment, even if I had the money, which I don't. But it still would be nice to have the option to get involved with the latest things. But yeah, I'm feeling left behind. Having said that, I was ready to bite the bullet and get my phone upgrade with the free PS4.
I was just about to say, you do have that option.
However,
upgrading your phone.
However, I got a pen out with some paper, and I did a little bit of maths as to the handset that I would have been allowed to get at this £36 a month. And I looked at my current contract, and the equivalent one's actually £39 a month, and I'm paying £25. So I'd be paying an extra £14 a month just for the console across a 2-year contract. Basically, it worked out that it was going to be stupidly expensive to do it. So I thought better of it and convinced myself not.
Mm-hmm.
There were rumourings of stupidly cheap Wii U's being sold off in places because now you can't buy the basic model anywhere anymore.
Oh, okay.
So it's pretty much been discontinued now. If you go on the Nintendo Store website, they don't list it there either. Now they only list the different versions that come with like Mario Kart or New Super Mario Brothers Wii U and New Super Luigi. What I did like was that they had themed Wiimotes. Like there's a Mario Wiimote that's like red on the front and blue on the back, and there's a Luigi one which is green and blue. They look pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
Well, the Luigi one did. The Mario one looked awful. But it's itchy fingers moments. It's times when you idly just browse eBay just for an idea of what these things go for, and you keep your ear to the ground as far as what offers are going. But no, I need to save my money for more important things, and I perhaps in the long run would have my savings a bit better if I wasn't going off buying people stupid presents. And my friend that I bought a lot of stuff for his birthday, he's coming down to stay with me over the weekend for my birthday, and he will be taking home with him a fight stick similar to what I picked up a few months back, because I spotted one on eBay going for £30, so I snaffled that. And he's also going to be taking a disc copy of Injustice Ultimate Edition home with him too, so that we can play.
Oh, it's nice of you.
So, that was £25 because I bought it in the shop for him to have the disc version. So I've basically spent £50 on that, and we'll ignore what I've spent on my co-hosts for presents. But, spending money that I really should be saving, but I'm not that fussed. It's I'm the way I'm looking at life at the moment. The redundancy talks that are going through at work, I've pretty much been told that I am staying, and I've even still had it suggested that the potential promotion that I was hinted at last October may still happen as well. So I might be better off in the coming months anyway, but I'd still love a shiny new console.
Justin, you sound so sad.
You do.
But then...
My heart's bleeding. Let's start.
But then I remember...
Let's get a little Just Giving page.
I remember that... I've bought this fight stick. I wouldn't be able to use it on the new consoles. I've got all sorts of stuff that I've got lying around that is not actually on the Year of Shame pile, but I haven't really sort of given it enough time to justify the purchase. Like I've got House of the Dead, Extreme or whatever it is called, Overkill.
Overkill.
Yeah. And I've got my sharpshooter and my Move controller and everything. So I'm planning when my friend comes down to have a solid playthrough of that as well. So there's things I've got which I will play that aren't on my list, I think, in the coming months. But cool. Enough moroseness. Let's talk about someone who's not feeling quite so glum.
Would that be me?
Well, Adam doesn't appear to have any thoughts. Oh no, sorry, that's thoughts and feelings. All right, well, you can't. As we've said last month, you don't deserve to be missing stuff. So, what are you missing?
Who were we talking about? Me?
Colm with his fresh stack of games.
Yeah.
No, I'm
so defensive.
I'm not missing anything really. I am looking forward to my birthday.
Yeah. It's August, isn't it? Is that when you'll officially be able to play Mario Kart?
I don't usually look forward to birthdays at my age, but this year I'm looking forward to my birthday. Because I've been promised something nice. If I'm a good boy, but I haven't been a good boy, so, we'll wait and see. So, that's basically it. I feel like, I've let myself down a lot, But apart from that, there's three of us here, and somebody has to be the worst at it, so it just happens to be me. So
that's fair enough. That's true.
So I can't say any more than that, really.
Okay.
Adam.
I'm not missing anything really. The only thing I'm missing is we talked about it last time. Deleting stuff off the backlog, like stuff we're never going to play, or in my case, stuff I can't play. Now my PS Plus has lapsed, and I'm not planning on renewing it anytime soon. So I deleted about 27 games off the backlog, which I'm pretty pleased about.
Do you feel at all bad about the fact that you had that many that you could just idly delete?
Yeah, there is that coupled with the fact that I played Battlefield and forgot about it. Says a lot about...
Look, don't worry about it. I have Dungeon Siege 3 3 times over, so...
Yeah, we know. So yeah, I guess... Yeah, it is weird that you can just idly delete games. There's other things, like I had a ton of iPod games on there that I got rid of because I was like, I don't even own an iPod anymore.
Yeah, well, that makes sense.
So I got rid of all of them, thinking, I'm not planning on owning an iOS device anytime soon.
And you can't transfer them either, could you?
No. So yeah, that's the only thing that's missing, I guess, which is a positive missing stuff.
Sorry, can I just ask you, previous generations, I would have brought back my old consoles and traded them in for the new one.
Yeah.
But because of the, PS Plus and Xbox 360 free games, I'm very much reluctant to do that now this gen because
you're still going to get decent games coming out for it. Yeah.
Well, and there's still games on my hard drive that I can't trade in, and that they're on that. So. It doesn't make any sense really to trade it in now for the amount of money that you get for it,
It's true.
Do you still have yours? Your Xbox 360 and your PS3? Or?
I still have my PS3. I'm not planning on getting rid of it.
All right, yeah.
I did when I went from. I traded in my original Xbox for a PS3 and kind of regretted it ever since. I mean, I've ended up with another Xbox. My dad had one anyway. But, yeah, it's always been I've always regretted trading in consoles and kind of don't want to do it now. No matter how strapped for cash or how much I wanted something, I don't think I'd do it again. I just think you get a pittance for it. You'd be better off just saving the money.
Yeah.
And wait until you can actually afford something, in my view.
Yeah.
Than rustling together all this money and then regretting it.
And why did you go from the PS3 to the Xbox One then?
Just because that's what people were playing here. That's what the missus bought me for Christmas. Because the missus was interested in it because of the TV stuff. So that's why she got it for Christmas. Because they use all that nonsense. So yeah, that's all I have for missing stuff. We're going to go on to thoughts and feelings. So, Justin, how are you feeling?
Well, I mentioned that there was some rumours of considerably cheap Wii U's.
Yeah.
And I will admit that I went searching to see if there was stock available of these considerably cheap Wii U's.
Okay.
To my relief, there was not in Swindon.
Okay, so you weren't faced with that quandary.
It meant that although I'd been to the bank to check that there was the funds in my savings, I did not actually need to withdraw said savings because there was no way of spending less than £150 to get a Wii U.
Okay.
But, in hindsight, the reason why I considered doing it then, last month, was knowing that Mario Kart 8 was coming out, and I've toyed with the idea that if I was going to get one, it would make sense to get one while Mario Kart was coming out and giving away a free game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But again, it didn't actually
transpire that way,
so I'm back to saving money again.
Okay. Good.
Will you get a Wii U when your year of shame is up then?
I don't know. I would like to have one, but I don't know. The PS4 is the way I want to go first, but I mean, who knows what they're about to announce at E3.
Mm-hmm.
But funding is everything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Colm, what are you thinking about?
Just thinking about where I'm going to spend my next fiver. Not really much now at the moment. Nothing really goes on in my brain half the time, so I can't really say.
Okay.
I'm just so disappointed, lads, with myself, really. That's it.
Yeah.
In a nutshell. That's all I can say for the moment. Adam?
Nothing really. Pretty content, bobbling along, playing what I'm playing. Yeah.
So you seem to be the happiest about the three of us at the moment.
Yeah. But I had my whole PayPal fund and got that on my system and stuff, didn't I? I got the little pick-me-up of the Xbox for Christmas. And now I'm just slipping into summer. I guess the thing is, I haven't had a hell of a lot of time in the last couple of weeks to play games as well, so it's like, I'm not even thinking about games, let alone buying other stuff, kind of. So, yeah.
You're busy in work as well, aren't you?
Yeah. Super busy.
Yeah.
Crazy busy. Anyway, why don't we go on to listener mail? Because we did get other mail apart from your confession, Colm.
Columns monthly.
Columns monthly search for redemption. Okay. I think the only actual question we got was off Welsh Benno, who we mentioned before. I'm just looking through the tweets, but I'll ask you guys the question. Do you guys think that the lack or cost of new generation console games will lead to a new PC gaming renaissance?
Nah.
I would disagree, Colm.
Well, I think the Steam boxes, they'll be interesting to see how they take off.
But the ongoing discussion with the Steam box, or Steam machines, as they're going to be called, is who actually is the target audience.
Yeah.
Because the main people who want to play on a PC don't want to connect it to the TV.
Or those that do already have a PC connected to the TV that's more functional.
And they use the big picture mode, yeah.
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 Because the problem is as well, there's out of the thousands of games that are on Steam, only something like 200 to 300 are Linux compatible, and SteamOS is a version of Linux. So if you were a hardcore PC gamer, you can't even play your entire Steam collection. So, yeah. I'd take the other slant in. We've seen a lot more people like self-publishing on PC and Steam Greenlight and stuff, and we've seen that kind of renaissance, I guess. But I get what he means. I think we're past the day of big exclusives on PC, unless they're like RTSs and stuff.
There's still more exclusives on the PC than there is on the consoles,
but like not big budget games. I don't feel.
Oh right, yeah, like Supreme Commander or something like that.
Yeah, they're still limited, I guess. And I feel like even the big indie games end up on the consoles now. Like Sony are quite aggressively, trying to. They pinch them. Like you got Rogue Legacy as a big deal. Obviously, the biggest indie of them all, like Minecraft, is on everything now, pretty much.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah, what do you think, Justin?
I think it is something that's a lot more people over the past couple of years, toward the end of the lifespan of the 360 and the PS3, when those were looking considerably older. There was a lot of people who shifted to the PC market and said that they'd be better off investing in, a decent or a new PC than they would in a new console. Having been a PC player from the late 90s and the early 2000s era, sort of before I went World of Warcraft, it's a lot more easier to get components these days, but the ongoing battle of getting your drivers to work and things like that, it's too much for some people to want to have to fiddle about with. There is no generic, this is the format and this is the way it needs to run. I mean, that's, on one hand, it's the beauty of the PCs that they can all be tailor-made to people's specifications. But on the other hand, because you've got an open platform, it's very hard to get a decent idea of what a good PC game should be. I mean, it was always the benchmark was, can it run Crysis on Ultra? But that game's... I mean, there are still people that consider that the benchmark. And that game's what? 5, 6, 7 years old? There's quite a few.
Yeah, something like that.
And it's too much of a fiddly market for a lot of people to get involved with. The ones that want to already know that they want to be in that market, and they also seem to have more money than sense anyway. I don't want to be accusational or rude when I say that, but what I mean is the people that seem to go full on for a PC end up buying the consoles anyway, just for the exclusives.
Yeah.
So
it's very true.
Yeah, multi-format ones, if they come out on PC, are always going to be potentially better, subject to you having it built and configured correctly. I can't see it being taking over again, not as long as we have dedicated machines.
No. I kind of agree. Yeah, the PC was its own thing because it was I guess, an evolution of like Commodore 64's like the more home computer market. Gaming has kind of, you're right, like gaming's kind of moved away from that now to these dedicated consoles. Yeah, I'm with you. That was our only proper bit of mail, really, other than people just voting and chatting. That's it. I think we're done, guys. Unless we have any competitions we need to talk about.
Okay, well, nobody took BioShock. There was no, despite one or two people going, yeah, I think you should offer it up. The people that expressed interest by saying offer it up already had it or already played it and didn't want another copy of it. So I shall have to find one of my friends that's never played it and just send it on to them.
Okay.
Grant.
Fair enough.
Colm, we were talking earlier about your many games. What are your thoughts there, Mister? I've got several versions of a game that I shouldn't have.
The shame of it all, as I said before, but I've given away a copy of Final Fantasy XIII on the Xbox, sealed and all, with a game in it. And basically, the first one to tweet me with "I love Final Fantasy" will get the game.
Nice.
And cool. I've got a Saw game as well on the PS3. One I picked up over the last couple of weeks. Still sealed, even though Justin told me there is an easy trophy in that, but platinum in that, but I'm not going to resist. And anybody tweets me "I love her" games, you'll get that as well. Sealed.
Fair enough.
Okay. And over the next couple of months, I'll be giving away another few games.
Well, don't go out buying them just to give them away.
Stay tuned. No, from the game. No. Stay tuned.
Okay, cool. Thanks, guys. It has, as always, been a pleasure.
Thank you.
People can find us in the usual places at YoS Challenge 2 on Twitter, YoS Challenge 2 at gmail.com. Yeah, they both work, you know. I'm at BlameBoy84 on Twitter. Justin, what are you on Twitter?
I'm at Onya6.
And Colm, where can people send you ridicule on Twitter?
Ridicule, yes. At Solom67. SOLM 67.
Awesome. It has been a great show, guys. It's no longer summer outside. I feel like we've been recording for ages. It looks pretty gloomy now. So with that, I am going to say good night.
Good night.
Thank you very much. Cheers,
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye-bye.